Guys, is the pitch report here once again, and we welcome everyone back to our analysis of the day. We will be focusing on the game between Arsenal and Newcastle. Arsenal has been on a tear in the Premier League lately, scoring 11 goals in their last 2 games, and it continues today too. They found their scoring boots after a rocky December. Arteta has retooled his team, and they've found their groove, especially in how their midfield is set. In recent games, Trossard has been the default striker, with Havertz finding his feet in the midfield. With all this stride, they got hit with a major surprise in Europe. They met their counter team in every way. Porto is a team in their last ditch and a very structured defense. They locked out Arsenal centrally, and it rippled through their entire team. It showed how novice Arteta's Arsenal are with Europe's big boys or the established teams. FC Porto knew exactly what and how to hit Arsenal and made them lost in the game. This was a major shadow coming into this Newcastle fixture. Newcastle in recent times has come off as a big bully to Arsenal after the dogged win at St. James Park, costing them a UCL spot 2 seasons ago. Arteta tweaked his midfield in this match and placed Havertz in the front line again. Jorginho seems to be Arteta's solution to the big games or against structured opponents. Arsenal was very good on the press. It was led by Kai and Odegaard as the front two, but most impressive of all was how Rice and Martinelli operate behind them. Martinelli stayed in between, keeping an eye on Trippier and keeping Longstaff in his shadow. This placed Rice in between Longstaff and Bruno, ready to counter Bruno whenever he could. He was very effective with the counter press, and this locked out Newcastle entirely for the first half. In midfield, that's where Arsenal's ingenuity comes in. Rice played ahead in attack and into the half spaces. White found himself in the pivot with Jorginho to form the pivot. Rice is very good at covering the spaces in the midfield, but what he lacks in the pivot is transitioning the ball quickly into the half spaces and breaking the lines of defense. Jorginho was picking apart Newcastle's line of defense with so much ease. He set the tone for Arsenal's attack, reshuffling and finding space when he needs to find the ball and find Rice and Odegaard in between the lines. He picked out Martinelli on the run with a beautiful over-the-top pass for the second goal. Kai was excellent in the line, stitching the attack. His combination with Rice on the left and his interplay with Odegaard on the right was creating all sorts of problems for the Newcastle backline. With him, it also comes with the big misses too. Odegaard dropping behind to pick the ball in between the lines for the third goal. Arsenal has been on top of set pieces. They scored 2 of their goals through corners. They have been brilliant with set pieces. They've scored the most set pieces in the league. On Newcastle's end, their struggle came from their mid-block. The 4-5-1 mid-block made it easy for Arsenal to find spaces behind the midfield line. Their press was not evident as they've been known to play. Their build-up was under threat for so long that they transitioned their build to a 3-back with Bruno dropping and having the fullbacks high and wide. They break the press for Longstaff to receive and give space to Bruno to set the tone. In the second half, they reshaped the faux midfield by dropping an attacker in the line to find 3 receivers in and progress the game. They had their threat in transitioning and hit long ball with pace. Their threat came through transitioning. That's how they worked their goal on the right. And it came through an Arsenal alum in Willock. Eddie Howe and his team have been struggling this season, and their resolute defense seems to be lacking this season. For Arteta, this much stamped why he should persist with Jorginho as his pivot against structured teams. It will be interesting to see how their season progresses and how they are red hot on the heels of City and Liverpool. Like and subscribe to the channel, and welcome to the Pitch Report family.